Marcello Trotta is an Italian professional footballer who plays as a striker for Avellino. He is a current Italy U21 international. Career Early career Born in Santa Maria Capua Vetere, Italy, Trotta began his career in the youth team at Serie A side Napoli and decided to leave to experience a new culture, a new language, a new type of football in England. In September 2013, Trotta revealed that he would be interested in signing again for Napoli in the future if the opportunity arose, as England provided no new football at all. Trotta joined the academy at Premier League side Manchester City in 2008. The club described him as one of the Club U21 registered trademark's brightest young talents, with his skill and ruthlessness in front of goal. He only lasted 3 months with the club. Fulham Trotta signed a professional contract with Premier League side Fulham in September 2009. He made 6 appearances in the Premier Reserve League South during the 2009 October season and scored 2 goals. Trotta was awarded the number 42 shirt and received his first call-up to the first team for a Europa League qualifying match versus Crusaders on July 21, 2011, where he was an unused substitute for a 4-0 win. Trotta made his first senior appearance for Fulham in a 2-1 FA Cup fourth-round defeat to Everton on January 27, 2012. He replaced Danny Murphy after 87 minutes. In the days after the game, Trotta was the subject of loan attention from Scottish Premier League side Rangers as a replacement for Nicola Jalovia, but a deal never materialised. After featuring as an unused substitute through the latter months of the 2011 December season, Trotta made his Premier League debut in Fulham's away match against Bolton Wanderers on April 7, 2012. He was brought on for Alex Coranicalia after 88 minutes and almost scored a goal in the dying minutes of a comfortable 3-0 win for the Cottagers. Trotta made 2 senior appearances during the 2011 December season and also clocked up 14 Premier Reserve League South appearances, scoring 15 goals. He netted 5 times in a 7-0 thrashing of Bolton Wanderers on August 30 and scored 4 in a 6-2 win over Norwich City on October 4. At the start of the 2012-13 season, Trotta signed a new deal which would keep him at Craven Cottage until the summer of 2015. Now wearing the number 39 shirt, Trotta was called into the first-team squad on one occasion during the 2012-13 season, when he was an unused substitute for a 3-0 win over West Bromwich Albion on September 15, 2012. He made 6 U21 Premier League appearances and scored 3 goals during the 2012-13 season. Trotta made his only appearance of the 2013-14 season in a 1-0 U21 Premier League win over Middlesbrough on August 16, 2013. Lasting 81 minutes before being substituted for Dino Islamovia. In September 2013, then-manager Martin Jol stated that Trotta is not the finished article yet, and challenged him to step up a gear and then maybe he can play for Fulham in the next couple of years. In January 2014, Trotta was the subject of loan attention from a number of Italian Serie B sides. After returning to Craven Cottage on May 4 from his loan away from the club, new manager Felix Magath cast his eye over Trotta in training prior to the final Premier League match of the season against Crystal Palace, but the Italian failed to make the squad. With the Cottagers playing in the Championship for the 2014-15 season, it was reported on May 13 that Trotta was keen to sit down for talks with Magath over his future. The talks were subsequently postponed until June, casting further doubts over Trotta's future. Those doubts were confirmed when Trotta submitted a transfer request on June 3. Trotta failed to receive a first-team call under Magath or his successor Kit Simmons and departed Craven Cottage on January 9, 2015. He made just 3 senior appearances in 5 years at Craven Cottage. Wycombe Wanderers, Trotta moved on an initial 1-month loan to League One side Wycombe Wanderers on November 24, 2011 and scored on his debut against Milton Keynes Dons in a 4-3 loss. He scored in the following fixture against Chesterfield on December 20 and again in the next fixture, away at Carlisle. Fulham confirmed that Trotta's loan had been extended until January 14, 2012, and on Boxing Day 2011 he scored a hat-trick against Exeter City in a 3-1 win. After the match, manager Gary Waddock labelled striker Trotta a goal-scoring machine after Trotta took his tally to 6 goals in 4 games. On January 14, 2012, Trotta netted a brace in Wycombe's 3-2 loss to Preston North End at Deepdale. Despite being offered an extension, Trotta ended his loan spell at Wycombe on January 17, 2012. After his loan spell ended, Waddock insisted he had no hard feelings about Trotta choosing to test himself at a higher level. Trotta made 8 appearances for Wycombe and scored 8 goals. Watford. On February 23, 2012, Trotta joined Championship side Watford on a 1-month youth loan. Given the number 20 shirt, he made his debut in a 3-0 league defeat to Southampton 2 days later. He started the match and was brought off after 59 minutes for Joe Garner. Trotta was an unused substitute for the following 3 games and returned to Fulham after his loan expired. He made only 1 appearance for the club. Brentford. On November 22, 2012, Fulham confirmed that Trotta would join League One side Brentford on loan, initially until January 13, 2013. He took over the number 11 shirt from the departed Mills Weston. 2 days later, Trotta made his debut for the club, coming on as a substitute for Lee Hodson, in a 2-0 win against Sheffield United. Trotta scored twice before setting up a goal for Harry Forrester, in a 4-2 FA Cup second-round replay win over Bradford City on December 18. Trotta scored his first league goal for the club in a 3-1 win over Colchester United on Boxing Day. Fulham confirmed on January 14 that Trotta would stay with Brentford until the end of the 2012-13 season. On January 27, 2013, Trotta scored the opening goal of a memorable 2-2 FA Cup fourth-round draw against Chelsea. He scored in bursts over the remainder of the season, scoring 2 in 2 games against Bury and Stevenage in February and 3 goals in 4 games in April. Doncaster Rovers penalty incident. Brentford's final game of the regular season came against Doncaster Rovers at Griffin Park on April 27, 2013. With the score at 0-0 and Brentford needing to win to secure automatic promotion to the Championship, the Bees were handed a lifeline when they won a penalty in the 4th of 5 minutes injury time. Defender Kevin O'Connor was manager Oral Paragrafs' designated penalty taker, but Trotta wrestled the ball from O'Connor, with the intention of taking the penalty. Trotta slammed the spot kick against the crossbar and Doncaster scored from the resulting breakaway, winning the game 1-0 and consigning Brentford to the end of season playoffs. Paragrafs stated after the game that he had not wanted Trotta to take the penalty, saying, "I am not going to hold anyone out to dry. We will deal with the matter internally." In another interview, Paragrafs said he refused to blame Trotta for the outcome. As a result of the penalty incident, Paragrafs decided to instruct which players will take the penalties by putting a sheet up in the dressing room ahead of playoff matches against Swindon Town. Trotta commented after the incident, "Trotta was an unused substitute for the first leg of the playoff semi-finals versus Swindon Town and he played 82 minutes of the second leg at Griffin Park, being credited with an assist for Clayton Donaldson's goal, which put Brentford 2-0 up. Trotta was substituted for Paul Hayes after 82 minutes. With the score at 3-3 at the end of extra time, Brentford advanced to the final after winning the resulting penalty shootout 5-4. Trotta praised the Brentford fans for being there for him after the worst week of his career. Trotta started the playoff final versus Yeovil Town at Wembley Stadium up front alongside Clayton Donaldson, but he was brought off for Bradley Wright Phillips after 62 minutes of the 2-1 defeat. Trotta returned to Fulham after the match, having made 29 appearances and scored 9 goals during the 2012-13 season. Returned to Brentford. On September 2, 2013, Trotta rejoined Brentford on loan until January 5, 2014. Trotta's return was met with resistance from some Brentford supporters and Paragrafs was forced to move quickly to state that Marcello knows some people have not forgotten what happened, but he wants to come here and fight for his place. After his arrival, Trotta said I can't a U21 registered trademark T change what happened in the past but I can in the future. Trotta failed to score until his 7th appearance, a goal which set up a run of 4 goals in 6 games through October and November 2013. Trotta scored 3 goals in 3 games in December to help fire Brentford to the top of League One. On January 7, 2014, Trotta's loan was extended until the end of the 2013-14 season. 3 goals and 2 assists in 5 games in January saw Trotta nominated for the League One Player of the Month award. He notched his 20th career goal for Brentford with the opener in a 1-1 draw with Shrewsbury Town on February 1. Trotta scored the winner in a crunch match versus Leyton Orient on March 15, firing in the only goal of the game in front of the Sky Sports cameras at Brisbane Road, which saw the Bees return to the automatic promotion places in League One. The strike later won him the club's Bees Player Outstanding Moment of the Season award. Trotta made it 2 goals in 2 games when he put the Bees ahead of Coventry City in a 3-1 win the following week. A 1-0 win over Preston North End at Griffin Park on April 18 saw Brentford promoted to the Championship with 3 games remaining. After the match, Trotta said I felt I owed something to Brentford, for a U21 registered trademark why I decided to come back after what happened last year. I dug in and wanted to repay the fans and the club. The lads have been great and eat a U21 registered trademark a special day. He made 40 appearances and scored 13 goals during the campaign. It was reported after the season that manager Mark Warburton was interested in signing Trotta on a permanent deal, but the club's interest cooled in mid-June. Barnsley, on November 1, 2014, Trotta joined League One side Barnsley on loan until January 5, 2015. He made 7 appearances and scored 1 goal before returning to Craven Cottage. Avellino On January 9, 2015 Trotta returned to Italy to sign for Serie B side Avellino on a deal until June 30, 2017. International career, Trotta has represented Italy from U16 through to U21 level. He made his only appearance for the U18s in a friendly versus Belarus U17 on May 26, 2010. He replaced Alberto Libitazzi after 49 minutes and scored Italy's second goal in a 2-0 win. His only appearance for the U19s came before his U18 debut, in a 1-1 draw with Germany on March 17, 2010. He played for the final 9 minutes after replacing Mattia Destro. Trotta's solitary U20 cap came in a 3-1 victory over Denmark on April 18, 2012, where he was taken off at half-time. Trotta received his first call-up to the U21 squad for a friendly against Italy B on December 17, 2013. He played and scored in the 3-0 win, though it was an unsanctioned international match and he didn't win a cap. He was called up to the U21 squad in January 2014 for an unsanctioned 3-way friendly tournament and training camp in Florence between the Italy U21, U20 and U19 squads. Trotta made his official debut for the U21s in a 2015 European U21 Championship qualifier against Northern Ireland on March 5, 2014. He scored the second goal in a 2-0 victory. Trotta was called up to another training camp in Florence in late April 2014 and scored 2 goals in a 2-0 training ground win over Fiorentina Primavera on April 29. On June 1, Trotta received another call into the U21 squad in advance of a friendly versus Montenegro on June 4. Coming on as a 28th-minute substitute for Domenico Berardi, Trotta scored the 4th goal in a 4-0 victory. Honours As a player Brentford, Football League One runner-up, 2013/14. Career statistics, as of November 17, 2013. References. External links, Marcello Trotta career statistics at Soxerbase, Fulham FC profile, Marcello Trotta Euro UEFA competition record.